What's up, YouTube? Zach's back with another attack, and today we're going to be talking all about cigarettes, or death nails, and many other names that these things go by, and how they were originally thought to be healthy. Between 1930 and 1950, cigarettes were commonly thought to be somewhat healthy, and a lot of times they were even prescribed in a way to cure things, including things that were caused by smoking, such as smoker's cough. Doctors would tell patients that if they had smoker's cough, the best thing to do would be to smoke Philip Morris cigarettes instead of other brands. Now, this was a big marketing thing mostly because cigarette brands were realizing that people were realizing themselves that cigarettes were in fact bad for you and dangerous to your health. So because they were losing business and they really didn't like that, you know, their bottom line, they wanted to make money, that's the point of a business, they decided to play on the emotional heartstrings of their consumers. Now, they did this by going to physicians. It was a time in the 30s to the 50s where people very, very strongly believed in whatever doctors said, you know? And it makes sense because this was a time before the internet, this was a time before word of mouth was more publicly available. If your doctor says something, you're gonna trust that they know what they're talking about. They went to school, they've got the expertise that you didn't really have, and so you listen to them. So the companies would go to physician expos, and the cigarette companies would sponsor these events, giving out free cigarettes to all the doctors. And at the end of the day, doctors are humans too. They're not immune to getting addicted to cigarettes. They're not immune to wanting to smoke cigarettes. And so a lot of them would start smoking. And they were able to convince these doctors, the cigarette companies were, that they could tell their patients that certain cigarette brands were good or certain cigarettes were good. They would use some subtle false advertising, such as saying 3 out of 4 doctors prefer Camel cigarettes, and it's not entirely saying that it's a healthy thing, but it is saying that doctors will smoke the Camels. And when a consumer reads that 3 out of 4 doctors who smoke are smoking this brand, it makes them feel more okay with smoking that specific brand, because if it's good enough for a doctor, if a doctor feels safe smoking that, then why shouldn't they? And that makes sense, you know, full-page ads would go out saying that Philip Morris cigarettes would cure smoker's cough or reduce smoker's cough in 9 out of 10 people who switch to that brand. It doesn't say that it cured smoker's cough, but it said that it reduced it. The point of the matter is, it's smoker's cough. Smoking cigarettes, no matter what brand, no matter what, it doesn't cure it. At the end of the day, cigarettes are not healthy for you. And these advertising campaigns really just played on people wanting to believe that cigarettes were good and not going to kill them, when at the end of the day, it really continued to kill people. Which is why by the late 1950s, a lot of people were realizing that there was a strong connection between smoking cigarettes of any brand and getting lung cancer. And at that same time, a lot of companies, magazines and such, would actually outlaw any kind of cigarette ads in any of their magazines and products, and that really hurt the cigarette industry. So they, you know, resorted to other methods, such as getting mascots. You know, they would go to bars and start advertising there. I'm sure doctors still, for a while, would tell their customers, their patients, that smoking cigarettes were okay, certain brands, you know, especially if that doctor themselves were sponsored, they would get free cigarettes in exchange for telling their patients to smoke a specific brand. I'm sorry, it's really bright out here. But yeah, it's kind of crazy because everybody now today knows that cigarettes are bad. It's published on every carton of cigarettes you buy, every pack, that cigarettes are bad, they cause cancer, there's warnings all over the place, it's not a secret. So to think that for 20 years, people believed they were not only not bad, but people believed that there were serious benefits to smoking cigarettes. And it doesn't even just include smoker's cough. There is things like eczema and just crazy things, anything they could think of that they could say, smoking our cigarette helps a little bit with this condition, so smoke our cigarettes. You know, they would. And anytime they could use subtle things to try and make you believe that it was okay, even if it was just a picture of a doctor smoking, you know, that could be the whole ad. And people looking at that would think, well, there's a doctor smoking it, so it'd be okay. And that's just not the fact of the matter. Whether your cigarettes have nicotine, whether they have tobacco at all, you can just smoke herbal cigarettes that don't have any of that, and it still coats your lungs. It does bad things to you. They're not healthy. You guys should quit now if you smoke. I'm a big proponent of only putting healthy, good things into your body, and so that's why I'm drinking Pepsi, because I only put things that are entirely healthy, don't cause any kind of diseases, any kind of obesity or anything like that into your body. So don't smoke cigarettes, be healthy. You gotta stay healthy. You get one life, and cheers, everybody. I've been Zach. Don't you do crack, don't you do cigarettes, don't you do drugs, don't do anything bad, don't believe the ads, don't believe the hype, don't listen to the man. We can get through this, guys. I love you. I'll catch you in the future.